Merge. So merge, I would say that merge is one of the most important function in Pandas because in data processing we usually get different variables from different data sources, and we need to merge a lot of data to get a comprehensive data set for analysis. So this function, I would just say this is one of the most important. You can click this link and go to documentation. The documentation has all the detailed explanation of all the different uses of this function. But I have copied and picked up the most important, most commonly used ones in these slides. Okay. So pd.merge, you have the left, right. They are both data frames, and you choose the method of merging the two databases on what subset of variables or the column names, and with a bunch of other arguments. We also have these arguments, and the important ones are how and on. Okay. So imagine that this is not imagine. I'm just. Maybe I should go to the link. Yeah, and it will be faster. Okay. This is concatenation, and here it's where is the merge? Vertical concatenation, and this is, yes, this is a merge. So pd.merge, and you can go here and you find that this is left, and you define the left, and left is this. You have a key, you have two variables a and b, and you also have right. And you have a key, and you have variables c and d, and you want to merge them together. Be careful that the keys are not always the same. Here, for simplicity, it's a very simple presentation. So the keys are the same from K0 to K3, and you want to merge the two. And the two are merged. So this is a little bit like concatenation of so pd.concat left, right. This one. So it's a little bit like this, okay? A little bit like this, and actually, my lecture notes for this chapter is copied from. Most of them are copied from for this section. They're copied from the documentation because the documentation has been clear enough. And you see, where was it? Yes, this is what I see. So. If you have this left and this right, left and right, they are not always the same. You have two keys to identify. For example, the first name is the last name, and you have the K0, K0, they are the same, but K0, K1, they're only in, this observation is only in left, but not in right. And for K1, K2, there are two K1, K2s in the right, but only one in the left. And for K2, K0 is only in the right, but not in the left data frame. For K2, K1 is only in the left, but not in the right data frame. So if you want to merge the data, you will get this. Okay, you will only have K0, K0 because this observation exists both in left and right, and so you have A0, B0, C0, D0 in the merged data. And for K0, K1, K0, you have one variable, one observation in the left, two variables in the right. So the one variable in the left, one observation in the left will be duplicated. So it's A2, B2. You have two A2, B2s to match the C1, D1 and C2, D2 in the right. But for the unique observations, for example, K0, K1 and K2, K1 in the left, and K2, K0 in the right, they are not in the merged data. Yes, and this is because the default how is inner. If I just on indicates the on what pairs of identifier variables you want to merge the two data. Okay, you have first name, last name. Okay, you can also match them with the first name only or the last name only. So just put the identifier variables in the on option, and here you have how equals inner. So inner is a default. I think it's default, right? How is default to be inner. If you have it as inner, you have what we print before. If you change it to outer, you will find that all of the, so this is retained because this pair of identifier, this observation exists both in the left and right, and for this and this, they are also in both left and right. But in the left, there is only one variable, one observation, A2 and B2, and in the right there were two observations. But for the K1, K0, only in the left. It's also retained if you use the outer option. So A1, B1 is from left is retained, but C and D variables are missing because this observation is not in the right data frame. Same thing for K2, K1, K2, K1. And for K2, K0, it's only in the right data frame, K2, K0, but not in the left data frame. So C, D, the variable C and D's values are here, but the A and B variables are missing because K2, K0 are not in the left data frame. Okay, there are other, for example, there are left and right. You can also practice. Say if I do the left. So if you use left, then all of the identifiers in the left data frame will be retained. But the identifiers, the observations only in the right but not in the left will not be retained. See, here we have 4 observations for the left, but the merged data have 5 observations. Why is that? Because for K0, for K1, K0, the right data frame has 2 observations, so it's duplicated for the left data frame. And also, if you want to merge the 2 data sets based on the identifiers of right data frame, you can have this. Okay, so yeah, and the K0, K1, and the K2, K1, they are not retained because they are only in these two pairs of identifier. They are only in the left data frame. Let's think about the example. This is left, and this is right. Okay. So left and right has a key A, B, C, D, E for the right, left, and A, B, C, D for the right, and it has the value 1 and 2 for the left, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the Roman number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for the right data frame, you have the A, B, C, D, uppercase A, B, C, D, and the 1, 2, 3, 4 English spelling. Okay. If you want to merge the two data sets, you want to merge them based on the outer. That means all the keys on the key. Okay, if you have if your identifiers are based on two variables, you should use a list. If on one, you should use you can either use the string or the key. Okay, so we know that because you choose how equals outer. So the result would have 5 observations. Okay, 5 observations, and they are concatenated together, merged together. And if you wanna save this result somewhere, you can do this. Simply use 2CSV. If you want to save it to Excel, you can use 2Excel. I'm just saving this to yeah. So this is where is my full? Okay, so this is my folder, and this is data path, and I talked about it in some very early video that you use R, so that you don't have to type the double slash. And so this is this path plus, if you still remember that os.sep. Wait, did I import os? Maybe not. os.sep is like a slash, and you want to save it here. See, it's here. You can just see what happens. Okay, it's created here. Okay. Now you have this data frame in this Excel, and it's created. Yeah. You also can do some practice using the other data frames. And this is DF2. DF1 and DF2, we have 4 cities in DF1 and 3 cities in DF2, and the temperature for DF1 and humidity value in DF2. And you want to merge them. You can do if you use inner, well, you know that only the Chicago is in both data sets. New York is in both data sets, so only the 2. Okay, so you will have only 2 observations. Okay, you have temperature and humidity. And if you use outer, you must have 1, 2, 3, 4 and also San Diego, you will have 5 observations. And for these 3 observations, these 3 cities, one of their 2 variables is missing. Okay, and you can also use left and right. You can practice this by yourself. You can also add a column showing the source of each row using the indicator. Okay, then you can see that the observation is in both data sets, in both data frame, or left only or right only. You can also use the right on and left on to replace the on. On is like if you use on, for example, on key, you must make sure that in both left and right, you have a common variable name called key. They must be the same. Okay, if in the left data frame is called key1 and in the right data frame is called key2, you should not use on key because they don't have the common column name. So you have to use left on equals key1 and right on equals key2. So the Python will automatically recognize understand your command and match the 2 corresponding columns. Okay, here because you have the same column called city, so it makes no change. Okay. You can also merge the overlapping columns, like this is df1, and this is df2. Okay, df1, df2. So you have the humidity and temperature information. What's the difference? The difference is that in the previous df1 and df2, df1 only has the temperature information and df2 only has the humidity information. Here it has both information. Probably the 2 variables are simultaneously recorded by 2 institutions. For example, one institution record the humidity and temperature data, and the other record another set of data, and they could be different. They could be the same, but they could be different. So you want to merge the data and see the difference. What do? You can merge this as and add a suffix called first and second. So the df1's information will be the variable name will be at a first at the end, and the variable names in df2 will be at second at the end. df3 is we can take a look at the df3.columns. Okay, you have city, humidity first, temperature first, and humidity second, temperature second. If you want to see all of them, you should see it from here. Well, I copied it, so it should be here because I just copied. So you have 5 variables. Okay. You can also set the index. This is df1, and you set the index city. In places to change this df1, this data frame. So it's equivalent that df1 equals df1 set index city, in place equals false. Okay, and now you set the index as city. Okay. You can also do this to d2, and you set the df2 as this. So now you have df1 and df2. You have the index as city, and you have temperature and humidity information in 2 data series. And you can also merge the 2 data sets, and based on the left index and right index. Remember, this is different from left key and left on and right on. Okay, now you have the left index and right index. And when you merge it, it merges the two data sets using the index city. Okay. And here you're doing the same thing, and the only difference is that you sort. Okay, the two data frames, df1 and df2, you sort them. See what's the difference? The difference between this and this is that the above one doesn't have the sort. Here you sort, and the difference will be, and it's outer, and you sort the, it's a bit different because, hey, it's a bit different because New York and Chicago, they're spelled differently. Maybe I should change this. See if what I can see. Okay. 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 I merge them and I sort them. Okay. So compared to I sort them so they're from Chicago to New York to from C to N to O. Okay, so the joint keys, which is the indexes, the city names, they are sorted. Okay, maybe I should change this. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, looks nice. Okay, this is Pandas merge, and in the next video we will talk about the data frame merge.